The story is told of two city boys visiting their grandmother out on the farm. One afternoon, Grandma asked the boys to put her cow in the barn. This proved to be an impossible task for the pair of them, for try as they might, they could not get the cow to go into the barn. A young farm boy was leaning against the fence watching the commotion. He laughed as the two boys tried in vain to manage such a simple task. The boys finally said they'd like to see him get that obstinate old cow into the barn. So the farm boy stepped into the lot and, much to his challenger's surprise, completely ignored the old cow. Instead, he walked over to her calf, picked it up, and carried it into the barn. The old cow followed immediately. There's a lesson here for us if we're willing to listen. Kids matter. One of the easiest ways to make grown-ups happy is to assure them that their kids are a priority. When we consider what's best for kids in our schools, or our churches, or our communities, getting the cooperation of grown-ups will be much easier. The world of big people often creates laws and makes decisions without giving priority to how these actions will affect kids of all ages. Kids matter, and the mental and physical well-being of our kids should play a far greater role in what we do than it often does. Teaching our kids to read and write and count money and play ball just isn't enough. The emotional and spiritual nurture and well-being of our kids needs to receive a lot more attention than it does too. The nationwide pandemic that has kept so many of us at home for weeks and made so many unwanted changes to the way we live has had an adverse effect on our kids. They have lost much of what makes childhood meaningful. They have been separated from friends and from family. They have been forced to learn by staring at a monitor instead of sitting at a desk with classmates. They have been denied swim lessons, ball games, graduations and proms, dance classes, school plays, and a host of other typical childhood activities that let kids be kids. As a new school term approaches, the decisions made by those in authority must, of course, consider the academic needs of our kids. But the physical safety and emotional needs of our kids must be considered as well as those academic goals. Decisions made with these things in mind will gain much greater parental support. God forbid that decisions be based primarily on the bottom line of dollar and cents. Jesus said, "Let the little children come to me and do not hinder them, for the kingdom of heaven belongs to such as these." Reading, writing, and arithmetic matter, but the physical, emotional, and spiritual needs of children also mattered to Jesus, and they should matter to us as well.
This has been your Thought for the Day with Steve Burkham, pastor of Community Christian Church in Stockton, California. If you have questions or comments for Pastor Steve, please send them to dailythoughtspodcast@gmail.com. Have a great day, and we hope you'll join us tomorrow as Pastor Steve opens God's Word to bring us another Thought for the Day.